It is March 18th, 2015, and it's a little later tonight. I turned on the heaters in my house because it's actually been warming up around here. But tonight it got a little bit cold, and there's no moon, so it's very dark too. And I decided to put a hat on because, probably saves a little bit of money, I guess, and warms you up faster to wear a hat. But anyway, the next thing that I was going to talk about is regarding some of the programming that happened then that I said occurred at Jenny's shoes, and it was experimented on me there, and then it was used again. The programming that was done of me and tried out at Jenny's shoes over in Coos Bay was experimented again. Whew. Excuse me. I am really tired. It was experimented again on me when I was going to this club that Erica Ballinger drove me to. So, I mean, once again, she was doing something that was definitely part of the government. And her, as I've already explained, her family was already into this whole, like, torture of people type of a thing. And, gosh, I'm so distracted by these huge eyebrows that I have on my face, which I penciled in, but the thing is I put dye over my eyebrows so that they would match my hair, and just dyed the whole area. And anyway, it'll fade in about a week. So I want to talk about this programming that was done to me before. I guess one thing that I want to mention really quick before I talk about that is, why I'm doing all these video clips. When someone might wonder, okay, why am I even spending any time at all on this right now? It is because I feel it's my defense, which some people would say it's not your defense, it makes you look bad. But others who really are in tune with how intelligence works and what kinds of things governments do on an illicit or illegal level, they do know that I'm telling the truth and that I'm not lying about these things. And I am really desperate to protect my kids and to protect myself. I do need help. I definitely need help, and it's not that I need mental help. I just need help. I need help from some embassies or, or other people, because there are a lot of people in the U.S., they might even believe me and want to try to help, but they really can't. They can't do that much, because a lot of people here who have to live here all the time, they're afraid. They're not going to risk putting themselves or their families into the limelight to do something about a matter they may be concerned about, that they do believe that I'm telling the truth about, but which they would have no idea how to approach or tackle at all, and like how to help. And the reason I make these videos is not because I am a proud, prideful person, although I like to have a little dignity. But it's because I feel that denigrating my mental status then is a reflection on my kids, because then my kids in the future get saddled with this idea of, they're not free anymore, because then they get, if they ever question or challenge the government or someone that they run into they think is a criminal, and someone starts saying, oh, you're mentally ill, and then how do they fight that? It's already in medical books and psychologists, and the common saying is that, oh, it runs in the family. I mean, some kinds of mental illnesses really do not run in the family. They're trauma triggered. And anybody who's a normal person, regardless of their personality or biological background, is going to be affected. So some of these mental illnesses are just a direct result of certain things that can happen, and they can be temporary. But there are other mental illnesses that get categorized into this whole biological DNA tendency type thing, like, do you have the BRCA gene or whatever, like for breast cancer. They think that that they like to smear entire families sometimes along with it. Well, does your family have a history of depression, like, a history of alcoholism, or a history of they'll say schizophrenia, that kind of thing. And that's one of the things they say runs in the family. And if someone's trying to malign someone politically, it becomes very convenient to use that. So I do not want to saddle my kids with the state trying to prove a false case and claim that I'm mentally ill when I'm not, and then have my kids have to deal with that and be burdened by that, with people saying, well, you might have a mental illness because your mom did. Because I don't. I have a mental illness. And it's not pride that makes me say that I don't have a mental illness. That's not how it works. How it works is that if I had pride, I think it would work actually the other way around. I think that I would be thinking I'm better than God, to say that I'll go along with all of these people who are lying about me and lying about what God knows is a lie. So, if I want to start measuring really what pride is, maybe pride, if you believe in God, or, don't, or whatever, but however you want to think of pride, maybe it's just thinking that you're better than what Annette, I need to put this over here. You are in the way. Dog, I just had something to eat over here, and I think that she's just wanting to get closer with that, really. She's using me as an excuse. So, and I don't know why she does this. Every time I try to make a video clip, it seems she just wants to jump up and get right in the face of the camera. She's a show dog. See? She is. Okay. Kiss the camera, Nanette. Kiss the camera. Kiss the camera. There we go. That's right. It's that way. So, anyway, what I was saying is that I think that it's the other way around to say that, with pride, basically, that I think that for me to say I'll just try things the way that they're telling me to try everything and ruin my kids' lives by bending into the will of basically what I consider to be the devil, I think that would be having a lot of pride. So, and I've been weakened at different times to accept what kinds of dirty deals and bargains they try to offer me that make no sense. Because, they do so many horrible things to me and they just make it worse and worse and worse. And sometimes you just give up. Or you think, stupidly, you think, maybe it'll be different this time if I just do what they want. But that's not how it has ever worked. And so, I just wanted to explain a little bit of the reason why I've made these videos, because I do care about my baby. I care about all of my kids. And the reason that I make some of these video clips is just to show that there are some government things going on. I have to talk about it. I have to talk about it as long as this government keeps kidnapping my babies. You know, why don't they return my babies to me? And so, anyway, now moving on to this one form of programming. I really don't like how this bowl looks in the picture here, because it doesn't look very good. Looks like I'm in a homeless shelter, like a soup kitchen with a dog. Anyway. And that. Okay. Let me that up a little bit. So, when I'm talking about programming, that Erica Ballinger, for example, practiced, that was practiced at this place called Jenny's Shoes over in Coos Bay. It wasn't really practiced there, it was tested out there. And what they did is they were saying things like they did some kind of a, they did some sort of programming of me. Now there's a weird light thing here. They did some kind of a programming of me where basically I was being told to agree to go with, like, they made it into some kind of a spy thing, I think. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I think it was trying to remember what the theme was, like, go with a man, go with this strange man to, because he's going to give you a tip on something. I can't remember what it was exactly. It was some kind of an objective, like, that I was supposed to, that they were forcing me to do, or to go along with. And it was something like, I was supposed to go with this man because now I'm getting nervous. Something like, I don't remember what it was, but I have to remember because otherwise it won't make any sense. And when I describe how they used it as a trigger, it was something like, there's this strange man, and he asks you to, you're with your family, you're with someone that you're always with, he asks you to go with him, and he's going to give you some money. And I think it was just to give me some money. And maybe, oh, and I think the idea was that he was going to pretend like he was picking me up. Like, so he was going to, this guy's pretending like like he's looking for prostitution, like a favor, or not a favor, a trick or whatever. So, the idea was that there'd be this guy, and or any number of guys, and it was sort of like a cover for a spy thing, supposedly. And then he was going to pretend like he needed a trick. I needed to go with him, and then he would give me some money and or some information about my life or whatever, things that would help me. And sometimes just give me money. And at that time, sometimes those things did happen, because I had some really weird things that people were practicing and training me to do. And just a moment, because I will explain this.